Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network. Welcome to Couch Pilots, the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, aka the Bottle Cap Kid, aka the Black Maritime Law. Across from me this evening, as always, is my best friend and also your best friend, Captain Blake Restisher. How are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. It's so sunny and bright out. The day started off kind of gloomy and rainy.
Yeah.
It's a cool day, sun's shining. I'm ready to fly.
Yeah. When it gets too bright out, there's one thing I reach for and one thing only: sunglasses. And I pick them up, I open them, and then I put them on my face to protect my eyes from the sun.
Well, I mean, we always fly during sunset time,
Right.
and we always head west for some reason.
I love to head west.
And so it's an essential. We used to have the, right before we took off, DSJ would rip off like the tint across the front of the mirror, the window.
Right.
So we had a new fresh window. We didn't have bugs splattering on it and
Yep.
stuff. But he said the other day that we're low on them. And I ordered some on Amazon. And
The films.
Yeah, the films. But they won't come in for like 2 weeks. So we've only got one film. So it's not as thick. You know what I mean? It's not as reflective as it usually is.
You got to make it last.
And so we got to make it last. So I said, hey, I'm going to get these sunglasses. And I also wanted to show, we're doing a video today, thanks to minicam.com. And I wanted to show some of the frequent flyers the sunglasses that you can have signed. Like when we're done with this show, we will sign them and we'll put them in the bin of use. So you're not just getting glasses that are we bought at the dollar store and just sign them. We use them and then we pass them along to you.
And I'm a very lazy person, and that's to our frequent flyers benefit. 'Cause I'm not going to clean the glasses. You're going to get actual Her Black Majesty residue on the glasses. Right. Lick it if you want. Taste the salt that was once on my skin.
Test it for DNA.
Absolutely, clone me. So when I'm gone, others will be there to take my spot.
Yep.
Do I have a daughter? Sure, but that doesn't count. Everyone wants a boy. Just ask the Chinaman, right?
Right, exactly.
So
we'll have to take a tour to China sometime.
We will have to. It'll be a flyover thing.
Well, but it's going to take a long time because we always go west.
Right.
So we have to go all the way. Whereas I think if we went east, it's about the same either way.
We're
smack dab. If you spread the Earth out flat,
equidistance,
like the rapper Bob says, we're equal distance.
You love that rapper Bob, don't you? Obi-Wan B.O.B. They're special glasses that we got for today, and they're aviator glasses like pilots often wear. But every once in a while, I will wear sunglasses outside of work. And again, not only am I lazy, I'm cheap.
Yeah.
And thank you. And I work at a hotel when I'm not flying, and sometimes after the allotted amount of time goes by, I take my hand and I put it to the back of the shelf and I clean off that lost and found. And sometimes, just sometimes, sunglasses fall right into my hands.
Nice.
So right now I have a nice pair of ladies' sunglasses, and usually someone will be like, "Hey, cool glasses." Not for these.
No.
I've had nothing but negative comments about these glasses, and mainly from my own family members.
I don't think that we should look at sex when we're picking out sunglasses. I mean, if you find a pair of pink and black polka dotted ones, and there's something that you're enjoying or you think they're blocking the sun, because really sunglasses, it doesn't matter how cool or not cool. It's all about your safety of your eyes.
Right, and I've never seen sunglasses with with genitals, with a penis or vagina. So
right.
Who's to say who they're really for?
Exactly.
Sexuality and sunglasses are fluid, as far as I'm concerned.
Sure. It's unisex.
Unisex.
Just one sex. Just one overall sex.
Right. If the sunglasses came up to you and tugged on your apron and said, Blake, I got to use the potty. There's only one bathroom for them. There's not two different genders for sunglasses. There's one bathroom for them.
Right.
Take a piss.
Yeah, exactly.
Piss off.
So did DSJ get you the right size? Because I told him to get two I told him to go to the Calvin Klein store, get 2 pairs. Are yours fit okay and everything?
Not, so often on sunglasses, they'll say, "Oh, here's large. It'll fit any large head," or a one size fits all hat.
Right.
That's not the case for me. I'm the exception that proves the rule. I have such a large head, and it's largely empty. It's just a waste of head. I don't know why.
Why does it tip over? Like, do you have trouble keeping it balanced?
I do. I have stents at home.
Okay.
Just to support my head.
Sure, it makes sense. Always support the head.
That's what I always say. Cradle the head.
It's one of those things, like in life, it's one of the things you should always learn first is cradle the head. It's going to help you when you're holding a baby.
Right.
It's going to help you when you're doing a podcast.
Absolutely.
It's going to help you when you're getting a blowjob.
Hold on. Say that again.
It's going to help you when you get a blowjob.
I hope all of you ladies out there are paying attention to this podcast because this man speaks the truth. Normally, I'd pump the brakes on something absolutely filthy like that, but in this case, I mean, it's territory that's not as well tread as it should be.
Right. We can't pump the brakes. We got a flight to do.
Is this Sex with Heather? No.
No.
This is not the Sex with Heather podcast. Her podcast, great podcast. This isn't it.
No.
But sometimes you will learn a thing or two about sex, just like I'm sure you'll learn a thing or two about failed pilots on her show.
Exactly. Or horror movies.
Or horror
movies.
Horror films. Well, you look great in your glasses.
Thank you. You look great, too.
I'm looking at me through your lens reflection, and you're right. I
Well,
look great.
we both have black shirts on. We both have these awesome aviator glasses
These are blue.
on.
This is a dark blue shirt. It looks black to you.
Because I have aviator glasses on. It's exactly what we need.
These glasses are what we need. Oops.
It's the first time?
Flight attendants.
Nope, that ain't it. Hold on a second. This is my first time. What's bored?
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
I will say it's been a few weeks, or we're a little past the normal when we usually record because you have done, I think, the first of your 3,500 camping trips for the year.
Yep.
So that set us back a little bit. But you know what? It's okay because we're so far ahead. Who's going to even know? We're not going to skip a beat. What's wrong? Am I blocking the camera? Uh-oh.
It's all right.
I'm not camera ready, as some would say.
That's all right. You look beautiful.
I should put on my makeup.
Let's hit it.
Okay, so we welcome you to Couch Pilots, the podcast about failed television pilots, and that's really about it. We don't play music. We don't talk about erotic subjects or low blow anyone. No real gimmicks. We're just actual airline pilots who love to dissect television shows that had only one episodes and then talk about them while being recorded.
Yep.
That's the gist.
Plain and simple. We're not complicated, guys.
No.
Ladies, if you're out there and you're single and you're ready to mingle, and you're like, I don't want a complicated guy. I don't want a guy who's, I gotta dissect. You don't have to.
Yeah, we're easily swindled.
We're pilots, and we love to watch television pilots.
Highly gullible, not complex. You talk about complex and simple sugars. We're as simple as they
I
get.
didn't even do my hair for this, and I knew it was going to be on film.
Your hair's so short. Does it even need to be done?
Oh yeah.
Really? How would you do it differently than what it is right now? I think you look fine right now.
I put some style and gel into it.
Well, you're a stylish guy, so I absolutely believe it. Today we discuss the pilot episode of Heat Vision and Jack from the year of our Lord, 1998.
Wow, we are getting close.
That's 1999. I'm sorry.
1999.
1999. That's what I meant to
We're
say.
and basically we can guarantee on this show that we're going to party like it's 1999. R.I.P.
I try to live every day.
Is
like
it
it's
your last?
No, like every day, like the day Prince died. By just mourning him. So sure. I mourn Prince. Basically, what I'm saying is I mourn Prince's death every day, even before he died. I knew it was coming.
Oh yeah, everybody dies.
Sure, and that's how I was living my life.
Good day for the roses.
I still don't know what that means, nor will I look it up. Let's see here. This show is very anticipated by me. There's a handful that I find out about and things I've heard about over the years. And every once in a while, one will stick out, and I'll hear that someone was involved, or this guy directed it, or this guy wrote it. I was like, I can't wait till we get there.
Right.
But I got to be patient because
sure.
there's an order to these things.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Absolutely. How old were you in the year of our Lord, 1999?
Usually, I write this down prior to because I know the question's coming.
This is going to get good.
It's going to get pretty good. 24.
What? 24? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not
that
right.
That can't be it.
99.
Or 99.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, 24. I was 24 years of age.
I was 17. 17 in 1999. Usually you're 6 years older than me, right? So, which is the math doesn't add up there. Did you go by the exact date this was released? Because I couldn't find that.
No.
I was born in 81. So 1999, 17 years old. That means I could see NC-17
I was
movies.
23.
That sounds right.
Okay.
You're born in 75, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I should let you go first.
That's all right.
Did you didn't do the math based off me because you would have been wrong.
No, I spent all day getting ready for that question. While you said you usually have that answer ready,
Yeah.
I actually did have it ready today. That's how I knew.
Awesome.
1999. Lance Armstrong wins his first Tour de France.
France?
Yeah. Did you ever buy one of those Live Strong bracelets?
No.
Did you ever wear one?
No.
Did you ever wear any of those stylish bracelets? It really was spearheaded by the Live Strong, wasn't it?
Right. It was definitely the rubber, kind of like thick rubber bracelets.
Yeah.
No, I had worn the ones that girls had like tied and crocheted and stuff.
For what? What were those for? Like best friend bracelets?
Like if your girlfriend would make you one, it was like braided. They like put one end of it in a vise, and it was like different colors, and they would just for like hours they would spend the night with each other, and they would make these bracelets. And then
Is that what girls do during sleepovers?
Yeah, that and touch each other.
Girls touch each other.
Yeah,
that's exactly that's like what I hoped.
Yeah,
like I never knew for sure.
No, yeah,
I'm thinking pillow fights, makeover, hot touching, bracelet making, and you confirmed 2 of the 4.
Right. Did you ever see Grease? You know when they're all spending the night.
Oh yeah.
The only thing they couldn't show because of
the ratings.
The rating system was they after a while they touched each other.
Is there an NC-17 version of Grease?
There should be. The problem is Russo left and went out the window and climbed down the gutter right before the touching because she would definitely be the one to spearhead that. But
who was the hottest one?
Well, hotness is not just by looks. Sandy was very, very pretty.
Yes,
but she was a prude.
But she's saying let's get physical later.
Right. To me, Russo was the hottest one because she was sexy. She was getting it. She
had sass.
Yeah, and you didn't have to spend a lot of time getting in her pants.
Yeah. She wanted in your pants just as much as you wanted in hers.
Exactly. And, and back in the high school days, that's what it was all about. You didn't have to work too hard.
Yeah, that's right. Really sets the pace for the rest of someone's life, I think. I don't know. They really all did bring different. I think the only one I didn't like was that Bucktooth one who sang along with the commercial.
Oh, yeah, she was cute, as in like funny cute.
Beauty school dropout. She was attractive. What am I doing? Oh, my hand down? No one wants to watch this video of me online.
Okay.
Here, I'm gonna put this one in my pants.
I don't mean to be difficult.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to get you a date.
Good luck. You'll be working a long time, buddy. Talk about being lazy. Hey, I feel like Howard Stern with these sunglasses on now.
You can take them off. Do
I look like Howard Stern for a second?
No.
Okay, then
you don't look like Howard Stern at all. You look like Tom Cruise in Top Gun.
It's exactly what I'm here. Confirmed. I don't know. All 3 of those girls from Greece, I was attracted to in different ways.
Sure.
I don't know. The Pink Ladies.
The Pinks.
Pretty hot name. I never had one of those bracelets that Lance Armstrong had. I never supported his cause. I never supported anyone's cause that they had put on rubber bracelets.
I don't even support my own cause.
And what is that?
Gorillas.
What's that?
Gorillas.
Oh, like the one that was recently shot in Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. So did you sense that because of that?
Yeah, I knew it was going to happen before it happened.
Like that specific gorilla?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And I called the Cincinnati Zoo. I was like, I'm flying over. I can throw down a net. Mm-hmm. We'll pull the kid up as we're flying by.
And they said, absolutely, let's do it.
No, they said our zoo is safe. You don't have to worry about it.
Wow. And how much were you charging them for that?
I was going to do it for free because I'm a member of the Gorilla
Wildlife Association?
Yeah. Thank you.
The GWA?
Yeah. Thank you.
That is a great organization. And you know what? If you don't mind, after the show, I'd like to buy one of those bracelets from you.
Oh, definitely.
I love to support a good cause.
Sure.
I'll wear any bracelet.
I love talking about stuff that happened a month ago.
Jack Kevorkian. Talk about a month ago. Jack Kevorkian was sentenced for second-degree murder of Thomas Yulk.
No.
Assisted suicide.
Nope. He shouldn't have went to jail.
Oh, I thought you were saying no to the fact, or the historical fact, like no, it didn't happen.
No, it happened.
You're just saying
I don't agree
you
with
support euthanasia.
Right.
Yeah. Why does it sound so much like the 3 words youth in Asia? Couldn't they come up with a different series of a different word that didn't sound like it was made up of 3 other words?
Like Help them die.
Help them die. Help them. No, that does the same thing. And it's actually 3 words again. Help them die.
Right, but it has to do with what they're doing. The other one doesn't.
Oh,
Euthanasia is just like kids that are in Asia.
Well, don't
help them die.
But back to the point where like you only get one boy, and then they did kill the euthanasia, didn't they? But still,
thanks for bringing me back to that joke. It took me a while to catch up.
Help them die.
Help them die.
I would
help them die in Asia.
Help the youth die in Asia. I wouldn't. Yeah, what's wrong with helping someone die?
I don't know. If you don't want to live, don't live.
Okay, how about this? Euthanasia, illegal. You want to die. How would you do it?
How would I die if I wanted to kill myself?
Yeah. Like if you're like, this is it. What was Thomas York? Was he bedridden and he couldn't do anything?
I think so.
Well, the only way that he'd be like a conscientious objector to food, and then he could starve himself to death, which would be a long, painful process.
Right. I don't think he could do anything for himself at this time. I think he was like in a state of like not a coma, but just like
it's a vegetative state.
Yeah, and pull the plug on me.
Yeah, but like if you had to choose, and you're like, I don't want to sit and rot for months. Yeah. How would I do it? I'd say for me, anvil on the head.
Ooh, I would say pills, but I'm afraid I wouldn't take enough.
That's always the problem, right? People throw up, or they wake up in a hospital.
I think I would get Bruce Lee to punch me in the heart.
Yeah,
Bruce Lee, a Bruce Lee punch to the heart.
Well, I think Bruce Lee's dead. He has a son though. You could probably get him to do it.
He's dead.
The son's dead.
Yeah.
Did he have a son?
Yeah, Brandon Lee. He died when making the movie Crow.
But the kid, did he have a son? Did Brandon Lee have a son?
Bob Lee.
Bob Lee?
Yeah.
Like bobbly heads?
Hi-ya.
Could that kid punch you in the heart?
Oh, any Lee could. It could be Phil Lee. I don't care.
Philly?
Phil Lee.
Philadelphia?
You're all about wordplay today.
Oh, help him die. Okay, let's see. 2 boys, 17 and 18 years old, go on a rampage at Columbine High School on April 20th, killing 13.
Wow.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
I was in high school when that happened. Like I was these kids' ages. 1999. I was like 16 or 17 when this happened.
Did you guys have like drills after that at school and stuff?
No, but I do have a school shooting story if you want to hear it.
Sure.
A buddy of mine, unbeknownst to me, he was in class with another one of my these are 2 friends of mine to this day, and they had one had drawn plans to kill people in the high school, but like jokingly. But it's not funny at that point.
No,
that's a bad time to do it.
You're right.
It's right after Columbine.
Right.
It's a really bad time to do it. But he did it anyway.
Wow.
And he was in a class with a buddy of mine, and his older brother. They're all in the same math class, and they apparently I was part of the plan. And again, I had no idea. And I was going to rappel in from the ceiling in the lunchroom with bombs strapped to my chest. Like I was going to rappel in like Sting from the WWE or the WCW.
Yeah.
I was going to rappel in like Sting and explode everyone. And then I was in history class one day, and they say to me, "Hey, why don't you go talk to the principal?" And I was like, "All right." So I go in there, and there's like,
"Why is he having problems in life or something?"
Well, they bring me in there, and like he says, "Help him die." No, I bring him in there, and there's police in there, and I said, "Oh, what's happening here?" And they said, "Hey, do you know this guy?" And they're talking about the guy who drew up the plans because the teacher caught them passing around these plans to murder everybody.
That's crazy.
And I said, "Yeah, I know that guy." And he's like, "Is he? You having a problem with him? You know him, and you having troubles with this boy?" And I said, "No, I used to work with him. He's a buddy of mine. We hang out all the time." And he's like, "So there's no ill will? You don't feel like anything negatively toward him?" I was like, "No." Like, all right.
That was it.
Why don't you go back to your class then? I said, "Oh, okay."
Well, I'm surprised they didn't go, you're friends with him, so you know about this plan of...
I had no idea. There's
maybe his drawing was so bad that they just thought that he was going to blow you up. He was going to make you fall through the ceiling or something.
I was going to die, yeah. It was they were sending me on a suicide mission.
Suicide mission.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then at that point, he had moved out of the school district, but the parents hadn't told anyone. So once this came out and he got in super big trouble, he got kicked out of the school.
Jeez. Wow.
And now he's a computer programmer making a lot of money at Caterpillar.
Boom.
And me? Well, that's another story.
You're podcasting.
I'm podcasting. I'm sorry. I love that story, and it still comes up from
It's a
time
good
to time.
story.
MySpace was officially introduced to the internet.
Yes.
Did you ever get on MySpace?
Oh, I loved it. IBWIP was super. Had a lot of listener interaction back in the MySpace days.
It was the cowboy days.
Yep. We you had to be on MySpace. You had to have a cowboy hat on, and like
Chaps.
if you were in somebody's top 5, you had to wear spurs.
Oh, I forgot about the top 5 thing.
Oh yeah.
Wow. What a
You
high-
would have been in my top 5.
Oh, thank you. I didn't have MySpace. I never did. I didn't,
I'd spend hours in the HTML copying and pasting to get your backdrop and stuff.
Really?
The themes. Oh
That
yeah.
sounds wonderful. Sounds
Hours.
delightful. Bluetooth was announced. I use Bluetooth every day. And the initial release of Napster.
Wow, that is old.
Napster.
Napster's Metallica's arch enemy.
That's right. Lars hated them.
Lars hates everybody because he hates himself.
And now all music is free. So
Right.
thanks. Fought the good fight and you won, Lars.
Yeah, good job, Lars. You fought that like you play drums all over the place and not successfully.
I remember a quote from Billy Corgan at the time when there's all this hustle and bustle about, hey, the artists aren't being paid for their music. It's like they never were. Artists
Yeah.
were never paid for their music.
Right.
And that's what Billy Corgan would say. So someday, and he was right very soon, all music would be free, and you make money on your merchandise and your touring. And that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that changing.
Nope.
How
it
would
never
that change?
will.
There'll always be different formats.
Sure.
The MP3s, you're going to have some sort of wave that goes right into your head.
Yep, they're gonna have that like syncs up to your chip that you have that
Yep.
they put in your arm.
But you'll always have to go to a live event, and the artist will be paid that way and that way only.
There'll always be $35 T-shirts.
That really puts things in perspective for 1999, doesn't it?
Oh, very much so.
So now you're in the feel. You get the era and the time that we're living in when talking about Heat Vision and Jack.
Sure.
Absolutely. Well, as always, we had to say Heat Vision and Jack looks interesting. Does it qualify for couch pilots?
Right.
What are the requirements?
There's 3 qualifying requirements and a phantom. The first qualifying is, hey, we had to find it. We had to find it on the interwebs. Second, it had to be free because we don't have any money. And third, it had to be a failed pilot, not go to series. And the phantom had to be in the 1990s because
Right.
we're on season 3.
Yep, we're wrapping that up here.
Wrap it up.
That means we had almost. This might be the 30th show.
Yeah.
Hey, happy 30th anniversary.
Happy 30th anniversary to you. We're not getting canceled.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, listeners.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
Hold on, buddy.
Hey, there's John.
Man, he looks good. He looks fit. He looks trim. He's in his
He's in his prime right now.
he's in his summer prime.
He's in his summer prime. He's got his pecs. I don't know. We've been talking about how he's been working out at the gym. It's paying off.
Oh yeah,
It's paying off. He's got that beach body, is what we call it.
beach blanket bingo even.
I'd play bingo with him on the beach.
Oh yeah.
Why not?
He doesn't cheat. He's not a cheater.
Hey, B32, bingo.
69.
Bingo.
69. All right.
Summary of the pilot. The pilot opens with Ben Stiller talking about the canceled Ben Stiller show, the Emmy Award he won for the show, and sarcastically criticizing George Lucas for not having won an Emmy.
Yeah, it was a big hate. It was a big Star Wars hater.
A little bit, yeah. After a short sting, Heat Vision then opens with a title sequence explaining how Jack gained his new powers and how Heat Vision came into existence. That's a good. I like that summary.
It really summarizes the show.
A good summary will summarize exactly what it's.
Oh right,
supposed
it's gonna a good summary is gonna tell you what the show is about.
Exactly. That's
and to me that's A plus.
yeah. That's almost verbatim what the dictionary says
Right.
about a summary. Some of these summaries we read are almost the entire show.
Right.
And it's like, what do I have to talk about
Right.
then?
Like, okay, there's the show. I'm glad we bantered for 20 minutes because now it's, a 25-minute show.
But this one, it kind of sets you up. It kind of
Sure.
says, hey, I'm not going to give the whole thing away.
Right. It's just tickling you.
You want your whistle wetted? Listen to this and then go watch the show.
Yeah.
Does it
Just-
sound interesting to you? Go check it out.
Well, I can't tell you if it sounds interesting.
Not well. We're on the cusp of that. Let's go ahead and kick that off right now. Interesting facts. The segment of the show where we dig a little deeper. We find out things you didn't know. Things if you sat down and watched the pilot, you wouldn't know from having done that.
Right. And this some listeners need to know is in this segment, Jason spends a lot of time in this segment because today I got a hold of him and I said, the show we're doing after this. I said, I can't watch it. We got to do something else. You're like, I found facts that are going to be put on interesting facts.
So do you have any idea
I
how
can't
long
start
that
o-
takes me?
Right, I can't start it over. And I was like, you know what? I didn't think of it that way. So these interesting facts, not only are they important for us to provide to you guys,
Right.
they also are very time consuming.
They are. So I hope you appreciate them.
I do.
But I hope what I also hope is that you don't say anything
Don't
about them.
Don't fucking tell us what you think of these.
Yeah.
God,
Here's the thing, guys. These facts are going to exist no matter what. You can cry the blues all day and say that fact sucks. It's not going to change
Nope.
anything.
No, you can say, oh, that fact's interesting.
Yeah. So what?
Who cares?
No one asked you.
No.
These
If we wanted to know what you thought, we would email you before the show.
And this segment would be called "How do you feel about these facts right now?" But it's not called that.
No,
It's called "Interesting Facts."
I like it better.
I like that better too. Let's kick that off.
Lay it on me.
Ron Silver, who played himself in the show, he almost turned down the project because he was busy with Veronica's Closet. That show sucked in 1997, but he liked the script so much that he made time in his schedule.
And it's not like he did a whole bunch.
To me, he's a recognizable guy.
Sure, but I mean, if you're doing a different show, it's not like you couldn't have went a couple. I mean, with what he did in this show,
Yeah.
you could spend a couple hours a
Do
night.
both. Come on. Did you ever watch Veronica's Closet?
Nope.
That show sucked. That was Christy Alley's follow-up after Cheers.
Oh.
I think she worked at a Victoria's Secret kind of place. But like she like ran it. Like she
Sure.
was she was the Veronica or the Victoria from
She had the one that had the closet.
right. She had the closet from which all products came from. The pilot was written for the ABC network, which passed on it. NBC and Fox had a bidding war over it, which Fox won.
On this show?
Ah,
Oh, I thought you were telling us an interesting fact about Veronica's Closet.
no, I'm not digging into that.
Wow, there's a bidding war on this. They had a bidding war, but yet it didn't go anywhere.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. People they just throw money around.
That's ridiculous. Judy Greer auditioned for the role that eventually went to Christine Taylor. You know Christine Taylor? She played the sheriff.
Yeah.
I used to watch Nickelodeon back in the day, and there was a show on there called Hey Dude. You remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember the theme song?
No.
I could pull that whole theme song out just like you could Gary Shandling.
Rock it out.
Boom, ba-ding, ding, ding, ba-ding, ding, ding, ba-ding, ding, ding. Well, it's a little wild and a little strange when you make your home out on the range. Grab your horse and come along, but you can't get your ride if you can't hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Singing. Yippee-ki-yay,
Yeah.
yippee-ki-yay, what? Like the cowboys say.
Like the cowboys
Sing
say.
it again now. Yippee-ki-yay.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Get along, little doggy.
Get along, little doggy.
Till the break of day.
Nice.
Hey, dude. That was it.
The name of the show was The Last Word Said.
Yeah, that was a good. Not a great show actually, but she was on it. And the great thing about her in that show, young, and always in a bathing suit because she was the swimming instructor at the Dude Ranch in like New Mexico or something.
Nice.
She was cute in that show. Not as cute as this show.
No, she was.
This is her at her peak, if you ask me.
Sure.
1999, hottest Christine Taylor there is.
Right, before, like with every woman, goes downhill.
Yeah, before Ben Stiller get his like deeply disturbingly chiseled body all over her. Judy Greer is a good-looking woman too, though. Directed by Ben Stiller and starring Jack Black, Owen Wilson, and Ron Silver, Christine Taylor and Vincent Chevalier guest starred in the pilot episode, the only episode filmed.
The last guy you said, is that the guy, the weird-looking guy?
Who's
The-
like the
the
cook?
cook?
It has to be.
Yeah, because he's always a weird dude.
He's a-
the character actor. He's like a weird dude.
And I'm sorry to open the book on him, but once Mason Reese,
Yep.
weird-looking dude. If you're a weird-looking guy, there's a spot for you on my set.
Sure.
You know?
All right,
You're
let's-
not going to be the lead guy.
No,
You're
no.
not always going to be hired.
Right.
But every once in a while, we need a weird dude, and we're going to knock on your door.
Right. But let's close the book on.
Let's close the book now and forever on Mason
Mason
Reese. While the Fox network did not pick up the show, the pilot gained a cult status and an online following.
Does it say when? Like immediately after, or is it like just over the years?
That fact was not provided.
Okay.
And for that, I apologize.
That's all right. It's not your fault.
All I do is search these facts.
Yeah, you just copy and paste.
That's all I do. The show was written and executive produced by Dan Harmon, who did Community, which is, to me, one of several reasons I was very excited about this.
Sure.
Because Community is one of the great... When it was at full force and firing on all cylinders, it was the best show on television.
Sure.
Also produced by Rob Schrab. He did Scud, the Disposable Assassin. You ever hear of that?
Mm-mm.
That's a comic book, and I think they made a video game or two out of it back in the early to mid-'90s. And that was a cult comic book.
Huh.
So a couple cult guys.
A lot of cults going on here.
The pair also worked together on Channel 101 and the Sarah Silverman program.
Sarah Silverman?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think down the line, now Channel 1 was kind of a famous thing that a lot of alternative comedy, people who did early sketches and stuff. And I'm talking late 90s, maybe Mr. Show inspired. Channel 101 was an internet website and a forum for these places to put their videos.
Sure.
And it still exists to this day.
Kind of like a Funny or Die.
Yeah, exactly. Very good.
Thank you.
Also,
I like when you compliment me as though it rarely happens, so you wanted to make sure.
no, that's a great example.
Well,
that was a perfect example.
Thank you.
Channel 101, while it still exists and has existed for a while with all these things, they had their hand in a reality show that lasted for one episode. So we will be watching that at a later date.
Awesome. A little foreshadowing.
That's right.
And also, Sarah Silverman show, one of the things I like to remind people of, that Harris Whittle had written on the Sarah Silverman show.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
R.I.P.
Rip, Harris Riddle. That was a great show. Sarah Silverman had some really great episodes. You ever watch that?
I don't think I ever really watched it too much, to be honest with you. I'll have to go back.
It's a little wild, but and then you talk about Christine Taylor. I think Sarah Silverman had about a 10-year period where she was just adorable.
Yeah, in over the years, I mean, her age is starting to catch up with her now.
Absolutely.
She's still pretty, but
Yes.
she's, the Jew gravity is taking effect.
Sorry. I never heard it put that way before.
Yeah, Jew gravity.
I believe it's a real thing.
Oh, have I said anything ever that's not real?
Not to me.
Okay.
Maybe behind my back, but never to me. Sarah Silverman, a very young Sarah Silverman on SNL for like a season.
Yeah.
Like she'd pop up here and there. I think that was in like 94, 95. Adorable.
Sure.
10 years later, she's doing the Sarah Silverman program. Just
15 years later, Jew gravity.
Jew gravity. That's right. It's taken a massive toll on her, but that's okay. She's still good looking. Sure. Anyway.
I'm not going to kick her out of bed for eating crackers. Hey-o.
Slam dunk. High five that one. Dan Harmon, I salute you, and you make me excited for Heat Vision and Jack. Heat Vision was featured as part of a mockumentary, Tropic Thunder, Reign of Madness, only stating that the character of Jeff Portnoy played the role of Jack Austin. Its premise, that of an astronaut who acquires increased intelligence when looking into direct sunlight, is very similar to the 1986 Warner Brother TV movie North Star, starring Greg Ivijan.
Wow.
That's a lot of information.
That's a lot of interesting facts.
Yeah, you know what? I definitely have feelings about that fact. You're never going to know what they are. I will never tell.
Well, you got sunglasses on, so nobody can read your eyes.
Normally, if it's just you and I sitting here, we don't have the cameras rolling, you might be able to read my eyes. Would I ever say it out loud?
Nope.
I would never do it.
Because you follow the rules.
That's right. But maybe you can see through my glasses to know how I feel about that fact. Maybe the viewers at home can see how I feel about that fact, but I'm not going to tell you.
No.
I'll never.
I mean, I can guess that you thought it was interesting.
I'm not going to. Well, maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Deal with that. Live with that. Mockumentary Tropic Thunder, Reign of Madness. Now, that's a mockumentary. Was that like on the DVD, like a special feature of Tropic Thunder? Do you remember that movie?
I never watched it.
I
knew of it, but I never watched it.
I never cared.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to give you an interesting fact.
Please.
I hate Jack Black.
Oh, really?
And Ben Stiller, 90% of the time, annoys me.
Yeah, okay. I get that for sure. I like Jack Black personally. My daughter is having a love affair with him right now. She loves School of Rock. She loves Gulliver's Travels.
Nacho Libre?
She does. She like Nacho. She loves Jack Black right now. I do like him too. I wasn't aware of Tropic Thunder, Reign of Madness, but I think that's a funny callback to something that maybe only a few people saw at the time. That's kind of cool. On March 27th, 2007 interview, Rob Schrab stated that a script for Heat Vision and Jack feature film was in the works. However, as the time of this posting in 2015, which now it's 2016, but when this was posted, no film had been released.
No.
It probably will never happen.
No.
It will never happen. So let's talk about it.
Let's do it.
That's the end of interesting facts. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Heat Vision and Jack. Let's break down that pilot beat by beat. And I'll, you go ahead and start us off, please.
Well, again, it starts in a diner, and that goofy-looking guy is cooking.
Let's go back even a minute further. Before, did you saw the version where Ben Stiller opens the show?
Right.
He's sitting in like a den, almost like a nice
Sure,
office.
with a lot of dark woods,
Right.
and a big,
Big leather chair, fireplace, and he's talking very condescendingly to us, the audience, which is great. It's like a smugness that is meant to be funny, but I think it's probably really him too.
Sure. Oh yeah, yeah. He's definitely a smug character. No, I didn't hit that because I thought we had already kind of touched on that in the interesting facts, so I apologize.
No, I'm sorry, but yeah, just it's put a finer point on it, I suppose. He talks about how he directs it, about how the Ben Stiller show was canceled. Did you ever watch the Ben Stiller show?
No.
I think I have that on DVD, maybe. I'm not sure. It starred him, Bob Odenkirk. You know Bob Odenkirk, right, from Better Call Saul,
Right.
Mr. Show. Had Andy Dick, and it also had Janine Garofalo. And that was a show that lasted for, I think, a season or two on Fox. It was a sketch comedy show, very funny. And I think something that was just kind of too hip and too cool, and people didn't get it. But all those people went on to do great things, minus Andy Dick. But that's all right.
I love Andy Dick.
I like him too.
I love a good dick.
You know what? Can I take back that high five from earlier?
Okay.
Thank you. And you're right. Then he talks about George Lucas, and he rips up a picture of. He kind of jokes about how the special effects in Heat, Vision, and Jack rivaled the
Right.
ones. And I think probably at the time it was the Phantom Menace, because that was
Yeah,
1999.
it had to have been.
So that's funny. And then the show starts. And I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
No, it starts with this diner, and it's a husband and wife diner out in the middle of nowhere, and he's back there, and the radio starts going and starts making crackling sounds, and it starts to go crazy, and it ends up electrocuting Frank, the cook.
Right. Some weird green light keeps
Yeah,
flashing, and
sure.
like it envelopes him, and then he comes out and sees the woman who's in the diner. I don't know if it's his wife.
It's his
or
wife.
Oh, it is. Okay. And she's like, "Stop acting weird."
Right.
But this,
and-
whatever this is, has possessed him.
Right, and it's he's like, you call me master, paragon or master, and he pulls his sunglasses down, and his eyes are green, and it puts her up against the jukebox. It goes off.
Do 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 do.
And then she turns into powder.
Yeah, just like Lot's wife from the Bible.
You're very biblical. I don't know these stories.
She turned into a pillar of salt because she turned around and looked at Babylon
Medusa?
falling. Yeah,
Oh, I thought you looked at Medusa.
well, Medusa was in charge of Babylon, so I mean, it's one of the same.
The fifth Babylon.
Or Babylon 5, as is known.
Right, to us.
The ancient spaceship that Medusa would drive and then ultimately crash into Earth. And then once Lot's wife turned
Grand
around.
Canyon.
What's that?
Grand Canyon.
Absolutely. See, you know more about the Bible than you think.
So yeah, and then shows Jack Austin, the astronaut. He's driving down the highway at night.
Now, is this before or after the theme? Because I think the theme starts right after she.
After she gets zapped.
It's kind of one of those things where it's like,
We'll show a little bit, then
yeah,
we'll do
it'll
the thing.
cut. It'll cut away, and like you hear screaming, and then here comes the intro, and I love this intro.
Oh, it was a good intro. It starts with, I think it does start with Owen Wilson's voice, singing something.
Right.
Yeah, and it shows. It's funny because on all of these, it's obvious that Jack Black is not really driving this motorcycle. He's just sitting on one, and
That's
have
totally on purpose that they
on
do
purpose.
that. I love it.
And I don't know if you noticed this, and I'm hoping you did because we are in tune a lot. And if we do, we're high fiving this.
Before you say it, I'm going to be honest with you if I have or haven't.
Okay.
All
All right.
Go ahead.
On it says episode 14.
Absolutely. It's episode 14, The Eyes of Paragon. High five that one. The intro, that happens at episode 14, right at the end of the intro. The intro is great. It's got all these kind of different sliding in and out graphics. It's got, like the silhouette of the bike and Jack riding. It's got this awesome, 80s synth music playing in the background, and it gives you the story.
Sure.
Some of the shows that we've watched.
It gives you the story. It doesn't tell you the details of it really.
There's a few lines in there, but it breaks it down even further
Sure.
in that episode. But through a lot of the graphics and the visuals, it does tell the story of Heat, Vision, and Jack. A lot of the past shows that we've watched sometimes will be the one that really sticks out to me is The Nerd. Do you remember The Nerd?
Yeah,
intro?
it had nothing to do with anything.
It was the Nerd had one set. It had the two of the three stars dancing, And then the nerd comes in, and they dance, they take a lap around the set, and they leave. It's awful.
Right.
This is the worst opening I've ever
It
seen.
doesn't tell you anything.
It was terrible.
Doesn't get you excited. Doesn't get you pumped up. It doesn't keep your focus.
Not at all. I'm ADD, and this the nerd I conked out right there. This one kind of it really shakes it up. It's got cool music, cool visuals, and it tells the story. But then you're right. At the very end, it says episode 14, "The Eyes of Paragon," which is great. I'm enthralled. The bike Heat Vision apparently is his unemployed roommate.
Right. His unemployed roommate, and it's the voice of Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson had the best role in this. I mean, he was easy street for this guy. He just He sat in a booth like we're in right now.
Yeah. This
And
fancy booth.
Just talked into a microphone.
Every once in a while, you hear an impression. Someone do an impression for the first time. You're like, oh, that sounds like that guy. I've never heard an impression of that guy. One of those guys, as of late, is Owen Wilson. Have you ever heard someone do an Owen Wilson impression?
Not offhand.
Close your eyes.
Okay.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on the show. This is great. Oh yeah, this is a great episode of Couch Pilots. Thanks, guys. I'm Owen Wilson. Hey, you know what? Could use some work.
It sounded like Kermit the Frog.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hi-ho.
I'm Owen Wilson. Hello.
I'm a Royal Tenenbaum. It's not easy being the brother of Luke. Anyway, that's my best Owen Wilson. Take her to leave it.
Okay. I'll try to do a Jack Black later.
Oh, damn! I thought you were gonna do it right now. Okay, so you're right. Jack is out on the road riding his bike, right?
Yep.
He gets to the diner.
Pulls up to get some he's gonna get some gas for night vision.
Heat vision. Heat vision.
Heat vision. And then he's gonna get him some grub.
Yeah, because Heat Vision's like, hey, I'm hungry.
Right.
And then he looks down at the thing. It says it's empty, almost empty. So he's like, oh, I gotta feed him.
Right.
Gotta feed.
What I like about it, and you notice this real quick, is to make the bike seem alive, the headlamp moves around.
Every time he talks, yeah, the handlebars move a little bit, and it's always the light. Yeah, absolutely. So they get to the diner, and what happens then here? He's the bike follows him inside.
Yeah, I wrote that down. It's like Heat Vision. Heat Vision rolls into the diner, just opens the door.
And you did see what happened to the waitress before, but here it appears as if she had been turned into ash.
Sure, there's just a pile of dust.
Yep. And Jack kind of investigates the scene. He's like, this always keeps happening to us. Kind of a nod to how, like almost a meta remark about how every week, if the show were to last,
right,
and apparently there were quote-unquote 14 episodes in, this is always the kind of situation they were in.
Always, every time you turn around.
Yep.
And so he's in there, he's checking it out, he's assessing the situation, and then all of a sudden, boom, a hot sheriff busts in, gun in hand, and she's like, "It's on you, buddy."
Yep. And
she pulls the gun out and shows it, and he says, what does he say? He says, "Put those things away," or something like that. It's a boob reference.
It was, and she's like, "I'm only pointing one gun at you, so I'm not talking about those."
Yeah.
She's like, "Neither am I." And so it's like confusing innuendos abound at this point. I don't know what they're getting at, and that's on purpose. They're smart enough to know that they're not making any sense.
Right.
And again, this is Christine Taylor, who will later go on to marry Ben Stiller, just looking her absolute best. This is 16, 17 years ago at this point, maybe even longer. I don't know when exactly it was filmed, but whatever she was doing, it holds up to today.
Yeah.
I am fully aroused at this point.
I thought about masturbating during this episode.
And you know what?
Not during Couch Pilots episode, but
Thank God.
Watching.
There's been a couple episodes that we've taped that I had to wonder,
Yeah.
where's that left hand?
That's one of the rules you have when we're flying. You're like, Blake, I need to see your hands at all times.
That's right. A lot of times I have to wait until the show's done, and I put down my pen and paper from making notes and think, did I like this? How was this show? How would I rate it? Now, I know you probably have a similar line of thinking, but at this point, whatever it is in your mind, boom, up one more notch because of Christine Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
Fair to say?
Yep, definitely.
So she takes Jack. He's the only guy there. She takes him to jail.
Oh, yeah. She says, you're under arrest. And she takes him to jail, which as soon as he gets in the jail cell, it sets up a perfect time to explain who he is and what he is about and why he is the way he is. Because she's like, she's like, who are you? He's like, I'm not telling you. And she's like, well, I'll call your employer, NASA, because he's got a NASA jumpsuit on.
So we're in a speed suit with NASA on.
And he's like, no, you don't need to do that. They're after me.
Why would you wear the name of the company if you wouldn't want people to know that you're associated with it?
If he was a real biker, he would have had a leather jacket on.
And assless chaps.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, you know what? Maybe we'll save some of that for why the show didn't work. Okay, so yeah, he starts to explain his past. He's in the jail cell. She's there in seemingly a one-room police station with no other police available.
Yes, it's a small town.
He says it was his last mission, and he was in the space shuttle, and he flew too close to the sun, and his brain expanded.
He referenced his brain was like cookie dough.
And I got to tell you, I'm a really stupid guy. And as soon as he said that, it all clicked for me. Because you know what I love? I love cookies.
Sure.
I love cookie dough. I love to make the cookie dough expand. This is a perfect metaphor to get a stupid guy like me on.
And right now, like you're of the two of us, you're probably the smartest because right now the sun is bearing right down on the side of your face.
By the rules of heat vision and Jack, I would be the smartest of the two. Absolutely. So he also says, hey, NASA employed this guy named Ron Silver to hunt me down. So he's out there. So watch out for that guy. He says that right to her. She's like, okay, whatever that means. And then she leaves. And I don't think she has a name. I think he just calls her Sheriff.
Yeah, I am big about writing the names of characters down when we do this. And I kept wanting to write it down. I kept getting my pen ready to write down, saying somebody's going to say what her name is. And they didn't. And I'm like, the next thing I write down is Gary the dog. So I knew the name of the dog before I knew the name of her.
I know exactly what you're talking about. So I kept calling her Christine until the very end. He calls her Sheriff again. And at that point, I was just like, he had sex with this girl. You'll find out later he had sex with her. And
spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. There was coitus in this show. It didn't show a full penny, but it was there. And I think at that point you're intimate enough with a person to use their first name, but he didn't know her first name.
No. And that's the way Jack Austin runs. I mean, he can't get close to people. He can't get close.
No, or they'll die.
Or they'll die.
Have you ever
spoiler alert.
Would you sleep with a sheriff if you didn't know their name?
Yep.
You would? Okay. That was very. I don't even feel like I finished that sentence before you answered.
So she gets a call, and something else has happened. What was it?
There's a call from a hotel. Something happened at the hotel. She's got to go.
With hookers. So she had to go, and he's like, and so he's just. I mean, it's the middle of the night. He's just waiting for the sun to come up because he knows. And he told her, he said, as soon as the sun comes up, I'm going to find a way out of here. And she's like, nope, because Gary the dog is going to make sure you don't go anywhere.
And she says, I don't feed the dog. So animal lovers everywhere, beware. This is an unfed pup.
PETA, this is not the show for you.
This leads me to believe that anyone that she arrests, she just feeds to the dog. This is a small town. There's probably no real judicial system there.
No.
If you break a law in her town, you are literally dog food. Right?
That's intense. That must have been like New Mexico.
It's almost, that's exactly what they do in New Mexico. So she goes over to the hotel. There's some other detective there or a scientist or something.
He's like the coroner guy.
Okay.
The coroner guy always, just like in all those SVUs and LA laws and stuff, like whenever there's a crime scene, there's always already a person there.
I love LA law.
Picking out evidence.
Right. And
so it's a black guy, he's scoping it out, picking out evidence. And
he says there's 6 prostitutes completely dehydrated.
Yeah, 6
to dust.
To dust. I mean, I'm good in bed, but I could not turn 6 prostitutes into dust.
No, that's some serious pumping and grinding. That's where like all feminine lubrication stops. It's complete friction to the point of where they just explode.
Sure.
Self-emulation.
I do. I self-emulate every night usually,
but never while we're podcasting.
Usually every day after work. Before Molly comes
on the ride home. Oh, okay.
No, before Molly comes.
Ron Silver, we find out at this point, is playing himself.
Yep.
He shows up because he says, "Oh, I'm at the hotel. What's all the ruckus?"
I got a room next door. What's all the ruckus? He's like, and Jack Austin had already said, he works for NASA, but he's also an actor.
Right. So, and he is. There is a real actor named Ron Silver, and I think the movie. What's the movie they referenced that he was in? I'm having trouble remembering.
RoboCop or Kid Cop or something.
I don't know if those are
Time Cop. It was Time Cop.
It was Time Cop. That's exactly right.
I wrote it down
because the coroner knew it, and he's like, "Oh, I'm
a big fan.
I'm starstruck at this point. I'm so happy to see this."
He's like, "Can I have your autograph?"
Yeah.
And Ron's like, "Yeah, sure. Got a pen?" And the coroner was looking down in his pocket. He didn't have a pen. He's like, "Man, I'm a big fan. I'd love to have an autograph." And Ron's like, "Get a fucking pen."
I do like that. There are a couple F-bombs in the show that are like bleeped out. One
Sure.
is by Heat Vision at one point.
Right.
I like that. You don't see that a lot in 99 where they're like, we'll just say whatever we want and then
And we'll
bleep
bleep
it out.
Yeah, because that way you're still getting the full effect.
Sure, because you know what they said. I know what they said. And then, so Christine there, the sheriff, she's like, oh, your name is Ron Silver. You're the actor Ron Silver. There's a guy back at, we have him. Yeah, at the station, you come back and get him. He keeps spouting off this crazy crap. He's like, yeah, he's an insane person. We sent into space for an experiment.
We're doing experiments on people with disabilities.
It's like, all right, let's you and I go hand in hand back to the station.
And Jack even said to her, this guy is trying to get me. Don't let him get me.
Yeah.
And then she sees the guy 5 minutes later, and she's like, oh, yeah, that guy.
But, I mean, honestly, if you're hot sheriff, and you hear all this nonsense come out of Jack's mouth, you're like, this is the craziest story I ever heard.
No. Legally, I am bound to keep that a secret.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Anything a prisoner says, you cannot tell anybody.
What about in the court of law?
Ooh, that's different. I'm talking about jail law.
Okay.
Mexican jail law.
God, you're so smart.
New Mexican jail
I can't wait for another 6 years for the past, so I get this information, too.
Well, maybe I'm just getting a couple rays of sun right now.
Oh, that's probably it. It's leaking over there.
Bouncing off of your sunglasses, hitting me.
You know, if sunlight bounces off of me and sticks to you, right? So they're like, okay, you come back to the station and you'll check out Jack and you can see what's going on with this guy. Meanwhile, the sun's coming up, and because he's waiting, he's like Heat Vision, get me out of here.
Right, because Heat Vision shows up in the back, because there's always a window.
There's always a window to the outside.
There's always a window to the outside, right at the outside in every jail cell.
And Heat Vision's like, hey, I've got no opposable thumbs. I can't help you out.
Yeah,
though.
he's like, I can't do anything for you.
I'm just a sweet bike that can talk. And so he's like, all right, well, I guess I'll have to wait for the sun to come up, just like I told Sheriff. And there it is. And as soon as it does, it goes into this anime style. Actually, it's more akin to He-Man, because the sun hits him, and then all of a sudden there's all these crazy graphics. It's mainly just E equals MC squared, which I love that they lean so heavily on that, because it's obvious that they're like trying to put smart stuff out there.
Sure.
A couple pictures of Einstein,
Mm-hmm.
and then he yells out, I know everything.
I know everything.
And to me, it reminded me of when He-Man would go into that thing where he'd grab that thing, and what would he say?
I have the power.
Yeah, he said that, and he also said, by the power of Grayskull.
Yes.
You're right, I have the power. That's what it really reminded me of, is that transformation from Prince, whatever the hell his name was, to He-Man. How homoerotic was that show?
Very homoerotic. I don't even have the time to talk about it.
Oh, okay, I see. Wink. We're really getting along here. Jack controls the station dog with the whistle. With a whistle.
Where did he get the whistle? Hard telling. But anyway.
Yeah, where did he get that whistle?
And it doesn't matter. The dog brings over the keys, unlocks it, and Jack opens it up, and the dog's like, "Rrr." He blows that whistle one more time. And I'll tell you what, when he blew that whistle, it was loud. Like it caused discomfort to my ears.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of times when they're like, "Hey, how do you use this to control a dog?"
And you don't hear anything.
Right, but whenever someone says that, it's like, "Here, use this whistle or use this collar." Basically, what you're saying is, torture this animal into listening to you.
Right. Well, that's what I do to my wife. I mean, I torture her to listen and do what I tell her to.
Now, a while back, I remember there was this guy named Stephen Pierre Loins who was a wife whisperer. Do you remember that guy?
Yeah, I remember the wife whisper.
Yeah. Did you ever take some lessons from that guy?
I read the book 3 times.
That's good. Good book. Great book. So so he escapes, and then cut to the station. Ron Silver is just charming the hell out of the sheriff. She is 100% smitten with this guy.
Until this point.
That's
and he
right.
becomes a fucking asshole.
Well, they walk back to the station, and they see that Jack is gone.
Yeah. And as soon as he sees that he's gone, Ron gets pissed off, ends up putting her in this chokehold where he lifts her up off the ground.
Super strength.
And tosses her. First he just lifts up a table, just
flips that desk.
And she's like, whoa, Ron, calm down.
And she's totally cool about it.
Oh, she's like, oh, that's just a huge, heavy chair.
That's how guys are.
Yeah.
Just flipping stuff around. But she was so cool about it, and then he puts her in the Undertaker-style choke slam.
Right.
And then throws her, and she points a gun at him, and he's like, if I feel a bullet enter my back, I'm going to, pull your lungs through your nose or something. Like, he's so, at this point you're thinking, Ron Silver, just an actor, or is he something more?
Exactly.
Because he's so easily, does he have super strength? Is he invulnerable to all attacks?
Right.
I don't know.
And then next, commercial break.
And it's great because there's a Heat Vision and Jack commercial bumper. He's like, "We'll be right back."
Right.
There's like wind blowing in his face like while he's riding the bike.
It's like a perfect time to do our own break.
Oh, we're going to chop up the plot. Let's do it.
No?
Why not? Let's do it. What do you want to hear?
Whatever you want. I thought it would work.
For over 8 years, Blake Clayton, the podcasting god, has brought you the best in roots music, adult comedy, and real talk with his ever-revolving cast of co-hosts in the form of It Burns When I Pee. Join one of the true podcast originators along with intern Heather and the Bottle Cap Kid as they play games, interview interesting characters, and just maybe uncover the meaning of life. New episodes of IBWIP can be found every Friday on the Fakakta Comedy Network. Check us out at fcfnetwork.com and join in on the fun. I think you'll find me joining on the fun every Friday only at fcfnetwork.com.
We took 1 week off, and I'm all out of sorts. I apologize for that completely.
That's okay. And you know what? If we were going to break up the plot at any point, it may as well be when.
I just thought it was such a good segue.
Might as well. All right, so we're back from the commercial break, and so is Heat Vision and Jack. And at this point, Paragon, we hadn't seen for a little bit, is that cook from the diner at the beginning, possessed by this being, some sort of green being of light. He shows up while Heat Vision is talking up. Or what is? Hold on, what did I even write there? Where does he show up at this point? At the diner, right? They go back to the diner,
right? Because when they come back from commercial,
yeah,
Heat Vision is like getting filled up with gas, and it's like he's like, oh yeah,
back to the scene of the crime.
Oh yeah,
it becomes very sexual.
His tank's getting filled up, and
for some reason that guy shows back up at the diner,
and so he Paragon like says, "Where's the?" I want to know where something is, the paradise or something.
Oh, the sunken
paradise, something like that. And Heat Vision, he doesn't know at this point that it's the bad guy.
No.
He's like, "Hey, buddy, I'm not from around here. I don't know." You know, his headlights going. Burp, burp, burp,
it's funny that the thing even knows to talk to a bike.
Right.
But at the same time, it's from a different planet, so why not talk to the bike?
Exactly.
It just so happens that this bike can talk back.
Normally, you would think that was a plot hole, but you know what?
Not
it's
in this
not.
one. Not in this show.
One.
So he's talking to that thing, and he's trying to like put it under his green eyeball spell. But since the bike doesn't have eyes, he's like, "What are you're doing some pretty weird stuff, man."
And this is where Heat Vision goes into full attack mode.
Yeah, because Jack comes out, and then Paragon freezes Jack with his green ray because he's looking at his eyes. Something's up with the eyes, and he freezes Jack Black.
This was the first. Oh, this is the second time in the show that you kind of see that Jack Black like physical comedy. The first time was when he was in the jail cell and she was on the phone behind her. You could see him in the jail cell. He's doing all these fucking taekwondo stuff. Jack Black is very physical comedy.
When you're a big fat guy, you got to use all the tools in your toolbox, in your comedy toolbox for sure. So he freezes Jack, and then like you're right, Heat Vision goes into full attack mode, and he like does a wheelie and knocks over Paragon.
Right, and the only reason that fight stops is because Paragon knocks him over, and he's like, "I'm a bike."
It's like, I'm done for.
I'm done for.
He knocked me over. That's it. Even the kickstand couldn't help him at that point. I thought that was great. I really liked when he got knocked. That was his weakness.
Yeah, that was like every superhero has a weakness. Like Kryptonite, no,
just being knocked over like a cow.
Knocking me over. Yeah, cow tipping.
So at this point, Christine, the sheriff, shows up in her car, and then Paragon's like, "Okay, you got a handful of dudes around here. I'm out of here." So he takes off, and at this point, the sheriff is like, "Hey, I talked to Ron Silver. The dude's nuts. I'm going to help you because this guy is a crazy guy."
Right. He choked me to death.
That's right.
And then this is where Jack Black, Jack Austin, starts to discuss and starts to tell the backstory of how Heat Vision became Heat Vision.
She takes him to her grandma's house as a place no one would necessarily know about. And while Heat Vision is outside playing with children, Jack is inside with Christine, talking about the origins of the bike. And he says, "You know what? Heat Vision was created when I was working for NASA, and I had got back from my experiment. And I thought they were going to steal my brain because it was infused with all this knowledge, and I got wind of what they were doing. So I'm sneaking out of the NASA building, and they said, hey, roommate Doug, come pick me up."
Yeah, call Doug as I was escaping from NASA.
That's right. And who better?
On a phone that's in a hallway.
That's right.
Because he's unemployed, he's going to be home.
Absolutely. He's unemployed, so he pulls up, and you never get to see what Doug looks like. It definitely wasn't Owen Wilson.
No,
I
it
tell you that
definitely
much.
wasn't.
But they dubbed over. They show a picture of his mouth at one point saying Owen Wilson's lines. I thought that was funny. And you got all these guys from NASA running after Jack Black, escaping the facility.
With Ron heading the
right.
group, and he's got
Leading
his
the pack.
big, huge laser gun in his hand.
Yep.
Right at the last second, he's going to, Jack's going to jump on to the bike with Doug, and right at the last minute, he moves out of the way or something, and the laser shoots Doug,
Permanently
morphing him into.
Yeah.
Which, and this is when Jack says to Sheriff a very profound, probably the most profound line from this show.
We'll say it at the same time. Are you ready?
Okay. If fate makes you a motorcycle, you become a motorcycle.
High five it.
It's very profound.
It's a laser that melds two things. If it would have hit Jack, what would it have done to him? Meld him with the earth?
Or shoes, his shoes. He
Yeah.
could have been talking shoes.
Just like the ones MC Hammer used to wear on his short-lived ABC cartoon.
That's funny.
That's the only talking shoe reference I know.
It's yeah, I think so.
Oh boy. So you're right. What a profound line that was.
Yeah, it made me stop and go, you know what? This is the way life is. Life is like a motorcycle.
You never know what-
Everybody wants a ride.
Oh, I thought it's they all smell. Everyone has one. They all stink.
Oh. Or hey, life's like a motorcycle. You never know what you're gonna get.
It's after such a powerful delivery.
It was perfect time for this.
He kisses a deep kiss.
To Sheriff.
And
Love
then-
story begins.
Scene cut. They wake up in bed together.
Hell yeah!
This is incredible. And you know what I'm
I wish
thinking?
you had a motor. I wish you were a motorcycle,
I would love to be ridden by you.
and then I could ride sheriff. I could have sex with sheriffs.
I would, as long as I get to watch.
What would be your profound tagline if you were a motorcycle?
Oh boy, mine would be, if you never expect anything, then you'll never be disappointed. And then I turn around, walk like 4 or 5 steps, look over my shoulder, my leather jacket, and then I keep walking.
Well, you're a motorcycle.
What's that? Oh, I'm a motorcycle?
Yeah, I said what would be your profound if you were a motorcycle, because that's what Heat Vision would always say.
I say, come on, babe, let's go for a ride.
Come on, baby, take a free ride. Free ride. So,
Free ride!
the next joke is the Paragon joke made by Owen. And you know what? I know it's a motorcycle, but Owen Wilson and the motorcycle is my favorite character in the show. He's like more like Paragon.
To me, if someone went back and edited all of the movies that Owen Wilson was in and replaced him with the talking motorcycle, I am going to venture a guess that I would enjoy them more than actual Owen Wilson being in the film.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they wake up from intercoursing, and then he comes out and it's daylight, and he comes out with like a big bunch of gadgets.
Oh yeah, like
And he's like, hey, this is this thing that's happening. This is an alien signal possessing this guy, and this is how you defeat him.
he's going through all this like scientific mumbo jumbo real fast. He's got like this boom box and this other stuff taped together, and it always makes like a satellite dish in his hand.
Yep.
And he's built this thing to kill Paragon.
Right, and you're right. That's when he says that joke, Paragon, and he repeats the joke just to drive it home and make sure everyone heard his classical wordplay.
Right.
And it's not that it was a good pun, but that it was repeated and like such a spotlight was put on it. That's why it was funny.
Exactly.
At this point, they start talking about. Oh, he said something to me back at the diner. He said something about a sunken treasure, and then the sheriff says, "You mean sunken pleasure?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think that's it."
She must have worked there.
Boy, I'd be there every Friday night.
Yeah, every Thursday.
Thursday?
Yep.
Say, Harper from the fuzzy hole, take a break.
Take a break.
Go wipe up.
I just got hired. I just came on my shift. I'm going to sit here and talk to you guys for an hour.
Oh my God,
Got you.
it's the worst.
Oh, and her butthole smelled so bad. It was all over my shirt. It still makes me so mad to this day. Brand new cool shirt from Classy Vape.
Oh, that was that shirt.
And she
That's
rubbed
right.
her dirty butt all over it.
Did that shirt ever come clean?
Yeah.
You don't have a permanent, like a scratch and sniff
No.
streak on your shirt?
Molly's good at doing laundry.
Nice. That's kind of a slap in the face, though, right? For her to have to clean up the mess of another woman on her husband's shirt.
Well, it's okay because it was a strip club. If it was
Okay.
like an affair I was having, then yeah, that's kind
Oh,
of slap in the face. But it was
gotcha.
just a strip club.
The ins and outs of marriage that I hopefully will never encounter.
Right. So they go to the Sunken Pleasure, and Paragon walks in. He's like looking around, and this girl comes up and says, "Hey, you want a lap dance?" And he's like, "Yeah, sorry, with a lap dance."
Yep, that's right. He says, yeah, and she does. She performs a lap dance on him, and the music in the club is being done by one Ben Stiller, who's wearing like a ball. He's got like Hulk Hogan hair, doesn't he?
He kind of looks like a pirate, like a DJ pirate.
Yeah, like a DJ pirate. That's exactly what he looks
DJ
like.
pirate. Boom, chicka, boom, ar, ar, boom, chicka, boom, ar, ar. Walk of the plank, walk of the plank, plank.
Matey.
Walk of the plank.
Matey.
Made it.
Pretty good beat we just made.
Nice. Oh, high five that one.
All right. So yeah, Paragon has got this girl dancing on his lap, and then he turns her into dust. And how he's doing this is he's got glasses on, and he pulls his glasses down, and then his eyes glow green, and he'll zap you right in your eyes.
Yep.
And then you'll turn green, and then you'll turn to dust.
And it has something to do with currents and wavelengths and stuff. And I
don't know. Jack's plan was like, hey, if we shield our eyes and then like get him to go into like a stereo, we can disperse his signal and like evaporate him or something. I don't
Works
know.
for me.
Mumbo jumbo. Not this simple podcaster. I'm just a simple man. Just a simple, gullible man. Other people in the strip club start to get wind of what's happened. Like, hey, what are you doing?
Right. What's going on?
And he starts using his laser beams on everyone in there.
He's just zapping the hell out of everybody.
He turns this other stripper. She's screaming for her life. And then, boom, through the window comes Heat Vision and Jack.
Booyah. Heat Vision and Jack and the sheriff's on the back.
Yep, she's on the back.
She's riding shotgun.
That's right. So he starts to like, he's got these glasses on, and he's starting to like kind of fist fight this guy a little bit. And then he kind of knocks him back, and then he rips the bra off of a stripper because his glasses fell off. And then he replaces his glasses with a stripper's bra, covers his eyes.
You can't see through a stripper's bra.
That's right. You have to rely on your talking motorcycle partner.
Thank you.
To
and that was funny because then it turned into a really big choreography, like fight scene.
Yeah, but like poorly on purpose.
Like poorly on purpose, just so Owen could say the move.
Block left, block right. Hey, watch out, Jack.
Watch out for the stripper pole in front of you.
Oh yeah, and he jumps on the pole, does like a 180 and karate kicks him in the face.
Bruce Lee, bringing it back.
And then Ron Silver. Boy, you got your hands full with this alien, and then Ron comes in.
Right, you're trying to fight an alien, saving all these people, and then Ron, the dickhead, comes in, all black, just like Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
And
the Ron Silver in black.
Yep, and he's
brandishing a weapon.
Yeah, and there's a sheriff knock that weapon out of his hand, and then he pulls the rug out from underneath.
Yeah, she karate kicks him a little, and he's like, yeah, whatever. And then he points a gun at her, and then she jumps to the side, and Heat Vision revs his tires and then pulls the rug out from underneath Ron and knocks him out.
Right.
And then she handcuffs him to a thing. Meanwhile, Jack Black is fighting this monster alien.
Right. And knocks over a stripper pole. It goes into one of the speakers, is wedged into one of the speakers, and then he goes, yeah. He says, I can use this.
Yes, he can. And then I can't remember how he somehow connects it to him, and then he says, record.
He's like, press record, and he throws it at him.
Oh, yeah, the pole.
Right, the pole.
And the guy catches the pole, and something to do with him, and he hit record. It, sucks the alien, which the poor cook, because the cook didn't do anything.
Right, he's just slinging burgers.
And this cook gets sucked into this machine onto a cassette. And I'll say, during this whole time, while they're at the strip club, it's all popular music of the time.
Right.
There's 3
Metallica,
or 4 songs. There's a
Metallica was on there.
Puff Daddy was in there.
Right.
There was some other rock song, but it's all popular rock music of the late 90s.
Right.
And I felt like it was just kind of thrown in there.
Sure. It was just to give you a familiarity, to keep your, in case the scene was getting too long and boring.
Right.
They wanted something to keep your brain moving while it was going along.
Absolutely.
God, we could make pilots. We should move to Nashville and make movies.
This is where all the movies are made. This is a great training ground for us to become the greatest pilot writers of all time.
See, by season 10 of this, we're going to be making so much bank.
Why aren't you guys doing a podcast about us?
We'll probably write. We'll hire people to do the podcast.
Yeah.
And we'll just write pilots.
Yep, that's absolutely right. Who would you get to play you on the podcast?
Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon, yeah.
He looks a lot like me.
Me, it would be Matt Damon.
Oh, so we could call it The Matt and Matt Couch Pilots.
The Matt D's. Yeah.
Matt D's in the house, bitches.
So Jack defeats Paragon. Ron's knocked out and handcuffed. It's kind of the next morning.
Yep.
No, it's
Yeah, it's
night.
because
dusk is coming.
They go outside. Sheriff and Jack go outside. He's got the tape. He's like, "What I need you to do with this tape is blah blah blah. You know how to destroy it in a specific way." And
the alien is stuck in the tape.
right, because he needs to explain how it got in there. And then they look, and the sun's going down. And before he could tell her how to dispose of it, the sun goes down, and he's like, "I don't."
He's really struggling.
Yeah.
All his intelligent verbiage has left him. It's failing him because the sun's golden rays have dissipated into the sunset.
Right.
And I think he gives her one last passionate kiss goodbye. He says, "I can't." She's like, "You can stay here. You can stay here with me." He's like, "I can't.
Can't, baby.
You can't get too close to anyone or else they'll die."
I'm a wanderer. They'll
That's
die.
right. So he takes off. She goes back into the strip club. He's like, "All right, Ron Silver, you're an excellent actor, but you're coming with me." And he's gone. He's used his super strength to escape.
Busts out of those handcuffs.
That's right, and he is gone. So Ron's out there on the loose, looking for him, ever hunting him down.
Yep. It's never gonna end.
Owen Wilson narrates out.
Yeah, I loved it.
Nary a bad thing to say. But
You want me to close my eyes and try to do this part in the Owen Wilson? I'll close my eyes.
actually, is there any? How about I close my eyes and you do your Jack Black that you promised me?
But he doesn't talk on this part.
Okay, he's like, okay, go ahead and close your eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on to our next adventure, I guess. Should be. Oh, hold on. Was my Blake? This is Jason. Blake.
Oh.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
Sorry, buddy.
That's fine. No, I often fall asleep to the sound of my own voice. This show didn't work. I don't know why. I really enjoyed this show.
It was funny. I mean, I have trouble seeing how it would keep going. I mean, I know you're gonna go from town to town, just like every Evel Knievel.
Evel Knievel, sure.
But I like it as a standalone by itself. Like if it would have been a movie, it would have been like I would have liked it if it was like a movie. But like you're not gonna watch this all the time.
I don't know. Okay,
I hate Jack Black.
You do hate Jack Black.
I hate Ben
That's
Stiller.
a big strike. Ben Stiller just directed it.
It doesn't matter. He's
Okay.
associated.
I
with
guess
it.
he was in it a little bit towards the end.
Well, he's in everything. If he directs it, if he produces it, he's always in it. You know, him, Owen Wilson, and Vince Vaughn are like butt buddies, and that's the problem I have with Ben Stiller.
You hate homosexual people.
No, I love homosexual people. I fuck the shit out of some homosexual people.
Okay.
But
homosexual butt.
right, I fuck the shit out of a homosexual or homeless person's butt. but
It's dirtier than a dog's mouth.
they're always in stuff together, and so it takes away. I have trouble diving into the world they're creating because it's like, oh, it's the same three guys.
They say you have to, what is that called? The sense of, like giving into what they're presenting, like believing it to be. Oh, I can't remember.
The
what
sun's
it's called.
going down.
Yeah, the sun's going down. I've lost it. No, but you're right. There's you have to accept their reality and
Sure.
believe it. But when they're always hanging out together, it's always the same guys. You're like, oh, it's just those buddies, which
Right.
can be said about every Adam Sandler film.
Exactly. That's another. Yep. Exactly.
So that took you out of it a little bit. Arguably, this is maybe the first time that they've done that, though. This is back in '99.
Sure.
So maybe this is the first. Yeah.
They were first hooking up bros.
All the bros chilling out. So, is this kid gonna knock on this back door? Let him in. Anyway, a lot of these pilots, it's very clear why they don't work. I don't know why this one didn't work. You obviously don't like Jack Black. I thought this was very funny.
I cannot figure out how there was a kid outside the plane while we're in the sky.
Maybe it was Kid Icarus.
Or it's Kid Rock.
Kid Rock. Hey, can I rock? What's up, Doc?
What are you, a jock?
Yeah, an air jockey. Cruising through the clouds at 10,000 feet.
Cruising through the clouds at 10,000 feet. Never, ever am I beating my meat. Pressing all the buttons. Looking at the gauges. Bringing your podcast for ages. It's supposed to go bam.
Boom.
So that happened. Sorry.
To me, this is another example of a show that could
The stewardess has a knife in her hand.
Oh, my God. She's exiting the plane.
And she,
Godspeed.
Godspeed. Hope she had a parachute. Wow.
A lot of turbulence, not only in the show, but in the podcast itself, in the recording of.
I'd say maybe these glasses are what's doing it.
Like, maybe we'll banter on the next show a little bit about how you're looking to buy a house, but God damn it, if you better get that house so we can seal off that door when we record.
Right. Why it didn't work?
I think that this is, like I was about to say, one of several examples of a show that would be better suited for like an Adult Swim.
Sure. It seems to be the case with ones that we do like. They end up being that way.
And to me, it's all the same type of humor.
Sure.
It's kind of humor that is absurdist. Maybe someone say it's a little bit more intelligent humor,
Right.
or a meta humor.
Yeah, it's like meta humor versus like the Elvira show, which was just
Here it is.
here it is,
This
dick
is-
joke number 1,
yeah.
boob joke number 2.
This is exactly what I'm
Right.
saying it is. There's nothing deeper to it.
Stewardess must have been doing some work on the outside of the plane. Stewardess
with
Molly,
with a knife.
yeah, Stewardess Molly, we can have DSJ take care of that at the end of the flight. You don't have to take care of that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I think that's all I got to say about this. This is the
Yeah.
only. I think this is another example of something that was just kind of. If I tuned in, probably even at the age of 17 and saw this, I'd be like, "What the hell is this? This is ridiculous." But being a little older, seeing how comedy has changed throughout the years, definitely more towards this type of humor.
Yep.
For like comic nerds, this is very funny. It just was a little ahead of its time.
Yep. Good job.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
You got a little taste of what we think about it. We're going to finish that up in a minute, but here's what everyone else is saying about Heat Vision and Jack.
Tell us what they said.
Rotten Tomatoes says nothing.
Nothing at all.
It's not on there, which is a little surprising. To me, this is one of those.
Was it unsold? Golden Nugget?
No, it was sold to Fox, but they passed on it.
But they didn't air it.
I don't think it was aired, no.
Okay. Golden Nugget.
To me, this is one of the more popular pilots that we've done because it's got people you recognize.
Sure.
You know, if you're looking back, like, and I hate to open the book on Mason Reese. I hate to open the book on him.
Just do it. Just get it over with.
But who really knows who he is? Older people might remember him from like the Mike Douglas show, but who really knows who is it? People know Jack Black. People know Owen Wilson. People know Ben Stiller. These are popular people that are in this show.
I'm assuming our numbers are going to start going up because we're talking about people that people know.
I truly hope you don't get your hopes up.
The people.
Don't get your hopes up on our numbers.
I never get my hopes up about anything in life.
And you'll never be disappointed.
Exactly.
If you don't expect anything, you'll never be disappointed. So, to me, it's surprising that they're not on Rotten Tomatoes because, like I said, these are people. This is closer to where we are now in time, and these are popular people. So that's a little surprising. IMDb had a score of 8.
Out of 10?
8 out of 10.
Nice.
Good score.
Good score. And this was listed, when we were looking it up and we found this, it was like one of the 6 worst pilots ever. It was like ranked on the art.
I thought it was giving you like the top 10 best and top worst.
I thought it was
worst.
okay. I thought it was on the worst.
To me, it's really good.
Yeah.
Critic
give away.
review. What's that?
Spoiler alert.
Well, I'm not giving you a number. AV Club, popular website. It's an apt way in that Heat Vision and Jack never aired on television. Confirmed. Though the pilot is as sturdily built as any of the TV shows it's referencing, so much so that it would be enjoyable even without the jokes. It's more of an example of the entertainment of the future than the entertainment of 1999. What were we just talking? We are so smart.
We're all up on this.
You and I we're smart guys.
smart guys. Maybe we should change the name of the podcast. Just start over. Just
Smart Guys?
Smart guys.
Guys, welcome to episode 1 of Smart Guys. This is Jason.
I'm Blake. We are
The
Smart Guys.
And we're here to educate you on everything that you don't know.
Did you know that mosquitoes can travel at an excess of 100 miles an hour?
What?
Yeah! Mind blown.
Smart guys.
Smart guys.
This is where we are now with comedy. People with access to cameras and actors come up with an amusing idea, shoot it in a day or two, upload it to the internet, and watch it become a sensation for a week before the public moves on to something else. I could see that being the case with this thing. If they did it right today on 12 minutes on Adult Swim, I could see it blowing up quick and then maybe fading off. You know, they do 2-3 seasons of it. And
Sure.
do maybe a total of 30 episodes total, whatever. I could see that. viewer reviews. I think this is a play on what Ben Stiller started with at the beginning, amazing visual effects. They were not.
No.
And then he says after that, well, not ready. So that was from Hartford Hammer from the United States.
Wow. Here comes the hammer. Harvard.
You okay?
Hammer. Harvard.
Here comes the hammer.
Harvard. Hammer.
Wow, I can't believe this was actually real. 9 out of 10 scars from Gavin6942 from the U.S.
Love you, Gavin. Take it easy, buddy.
Big shout out to you, Gavin.
Thanks for dialing it up.
Great show, up there with the best of Tenacious D and Ben Stiller. 10 out of 10 scars from Marius Hugon from Oslo, Norway. They can be reached at m-h7 at frisurf.no.
What's that?
I think .no is for Norway. Hilarious.
Shameless plug.
That's
Humble plug.
I'm good friends with Marius Hogan. Hilarious in its purposeful stupidity. 9 out of 10 scars. This guy gets it. Tommy Nelson from Long Beach, California. I wouldn't watch a series. 4 out of 10 scars from Thomas.
Fuck you, Thomas.
Yeah, fuck that guy. He's from Film Reviews at web.de. Okay, so you know how to say Germany, right? They have their own language. How do you say Germany in German?
German.
No.
Gustav.
No. It's
Mesopotamia.
Deutschland.
Right. That's what I said.
Deutschland.
Right. That's what I said.
That doesn't sound like Germany at all. How did we get the word Germany from Germanic languages? From Deutschland.
We're the U.S. We do what we want to do.
This guy, this Thomas from Germany, he can sit on a tack as far as I'm concerned.
And break his mother's back.
4 out of 10 scars? No thanks.
Don't like him.
Kiss my bum. 8 out of 10 scars from Ian462 at ian@angryforlife.com from South Korea.
Ian, shameless plug. Good job. You made it to Couch Pods.
One of those things we're hearing about it doesn't tell you anything. Yeah, that's what Ian says. Classic 10 out of 10 scars from Metaloplasty from Edwardsville, Illinois. Oh, hey,
close to our airport.
Yeah, very close to FCF Network headquarters. Jack Black is the man, and Owen Wilson and Ben Stiller rock. Okay, now he's going a little too far. Spotted another spoof in there, too. 9 out of 10 scars. Daryl from the United Kingdom. I would have never guessed that there's a guy named Daryl from the United Kingdom.
It doesn't seem like a name that would be in the UK.
That's a NASCAR name.
Yep.
The first Daryl was born on the NASCAR track, and maybe it was the noise that it made when it fell out of the mom's cooter juice.
Daryl?
Yeah.
Daryl.
What's that kid's name? I don't know what noise they just make. And a sensation was born.
Yep.
It's funny. It's very Harmon. 6 out of 10 scars. Muddy McFlea from Lincolnshire. Don't tell me it's funny and know about Dan Harmon and then give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. What do you consider a 10? Extraordinarily funny?
Yeah. There's more. I'm not going to go into it. Most of the people are giving it pretty good marks.
Sure.
And saying, hey, I can dig it. You can dig it.
We can dig it together.
That's right. Let's take this in for a landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Do you ever turn that seatbelt sign off? I forget to.
To be completely honest with you, I think that bulb burned down about 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, how do they know to take them off then?
Most of the time, people just stay strapped in, and we have to have someone come up later.
That's true.
DSJ usually they'll come in
DSJ.
and say, hey, everyone off the plane, what are you guys doing?
Right.
And the most common answer is, I never saw that light come on. 1 out of 7. Using the wing scale, the classic Couch Pilots wing scale. From all the numbers align with characters from the classic sitcom from the 1990s, Wings. Roy Biggins is the worst. That's a number 1. It goes all the way up to a number 7, Brian Hackett. Our absolute favorite character.
Absolute favorite. Great guy.
Without a doubt. What is your pick for Heat, Vision, and Jack?
I hate Jack Black.
Mm-hmm. But you love Christine Taylor.
Christine Taylor was good looking.
Uh-huh.
I loved Owen Wilson's character.
You love my impression of it.
Can I give it a 5.5?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 5.5.
All right.
5.5.
Yeah. So somewhere, if Helen Chappell and Lowell Mather ever had a baby, that baby would be what the score would be.
5.5.
5.5.
Don't do it.
I gotta give it a 7.
Jesus.
I gotta give it a 7. There is nothing wrong with it.
You've given 3 7s, and I have yet to give one. Is
don't care.
it because
I don't care. This is a great show. This is really very funny.
Yes, Couch Pilots is a great show, but we're talking about Jack and Heat Vision.
Yeah, it was very good.
Okay.
I really liked it.
It was good, but I wasn't that good.
To me, there's nothing wrong with this show. This works as a show.
I think that with you never watching Tribe, you're unable to adequately rate these shows.
And I got to say, I really hate to open the book on Mason Reese, but you go back.
We
and
never closed it. It was still open.
I hate to open an already open book on Mason Reese, but that show you look at and you're like, this is not funny. This isn't a good show.
Right.
I don't have any of those kind of words to say for Heat, Vision, and Jack. Now I will close the book forever. This time,
Okay.
a solemn promise
All right.
that I will forever close the book on Mason Reese. There's nothing wrong
Okay.
with the show.
All right.
It's full of talented people that I personally enjoy. Not everything Stiller does I like, but I do like him as a whole. I really like Jack Black or Black Jack. If you're looking at a phone book, but there's nothing wrong with this. It's very funny. Dan Harmon is excellent. This is him really kind of getting his momentum going to do great things in the future, like Sarah Silverman, like Community. Like he's got a show I think coming to Hulu soon or something, or CISO. And he's got a CISO show coming. These are all people I enjoy. This is some early work. Sometimes what's that show we watched? Crystal Cube. We saw some of those people's early work and it was terrible.
Right.
This was awesome.
Okay.
I love this show.
I feel like you're spending. I mean, they've already hooked the gasoline up to the plane. DSJ's got that hooked up. He has already put the little blocks underneath the wheels, so we don't. And you don't have to. You don't have to campaign. I believe you, buddy. It's okay.
I just want everyone to know. No, I really enjoy this. I'm sticking by my 7. It's the third one. That's fine. I've given out a 1. I've given out almost every number, I think. Maybe not a 6. 6 is a weird spot.
Yeah, it is difficult. That's why I went with 5.5. That's why I mean, maybe I should have went a 6, but I'm not going to let you change my mind.
No, I wouldn't want to change your mind. I want the purest report as possible.
You know what we should have did? I should have said,
sunglasses off.
give it a 5.5.
Nice.
Now you try.
Heat, Vision, and Jack. I tell you what, I give it. I give it a 7. I give it a 7.
Nice.
That's all I got to say about Heat, Vision, and Jack. I do wish they had made more, but then I couldn't do a podcast about it. But I love that show. I think it's fantastic. But we're going to close the book on Heat, Vision, and Jack now.
Close it.
But we're not done.
Nope. We're never done.
Please join us next time when we watch the pilot episode of Hollyweird. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. 3 fame chasers catalog their attempts to solve murders while trying to become famous. 3 reality TV makers film themselves solving murders while trying to make a TV show in L.A. You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots in iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to dailymotion.com and search Hollyweird.
Spoiler alert, I was agitated at this movie.
Uh-oh. Watch out for that. We know what we're doing. We got a lot of stuff in the forefront, but we'll always make room for our frequent flyers, our people who listen week after week. And if you want to contact the show, there's many ways to do it. You can email us at couchpilotspodcast@gmail.com. You can go to fcfnetwork.com. All of the links to our different social media outlets are on there. I think we've got Twitter and Facebook. Are we on Instagram?
No, we don't have to use this, but we post on IBWIPs.
Yeah, post on IB. Yeah, check out.
Because you had to be on to be a podcast and be on Instagram. You have to have at least 50 shows.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Well, we'll get there.
Oh yeah,
it's on the horizon for sure.
Yeah, and again, just want to mention to everybody, thanks to minicam.com, and this is going to be our first ever episode that we post the video for on our YouTube page, Couch Pilots Podcast YouTube page. I'm pretty excited about it. I like it.
Minicam is great. They're very good to you and the FCF network over the years. I have nothing else to say. I will mention real quickly that if you do like the show, please subscribe.
Yes, definitely.
Rate us. Give us a review. It honestly all helps us very much if you tell a friend. I actually know someone recently who started listening to all of the shows. They went back and they started from the beginning. And they've made references to me every time I run into them about something on the show. They're really enjoying it.
We love to see that. And if that person wants to email us or something or post on our Facebook page, just don't post about interesting facts. That's what's going to piss me off.
Yeah, and I hate to see Blake angry, but there's been several people out
there.
there.
You don't like me when I'm angry.
Is that a sexy Latino
Hulk? You won't like me when I'm angry, Jason.
Why would they not? Why did they make Bruce Banner a white man in America?
They don't know
A
why.
straight man. It should have been a sexy Latino man.
Yes.
You know what? Maybe when they reset the clock on Marvel, maybe they'll make that choice next time.
I can't believe I didn't make it on that pilot episode of the musical.
What?
The musical we did. I was going to be on it.
Gay Hulk?
No.
I've heard of the Gray Hulk, but the Gay Hulk?
Lollapalooza Plaza.
Shangri-La Plaza?
Shangri-La Plaza. That's why I
Oh.
didn't make it on that because I couldn't say the name right.
That's enough. This pilot may have been rough.
All gays are in musicals.
All gays are in. This pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks, everyone. We will see you on the next time.
Love you guys. Want to touch your butts?
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
The one thing I will say. Now you play the piano and you play the guitar.
This has been a Fakakta Comedy Funhouse production, produced by Jason Tosher, executive produced by Blake Clayton. For more information and content, go to fcfnetwork.com.
But I always play the harp. Do you not hear a harp in there? You don't. I'm harping it always. You're always piano and guitar in it. All right.